Dinger. Who's here? Oh, he's hitting too.
Check. Mic check 1 2. Check 1 2.
Hello.
So you're 10 minutes away from first pitch, right?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Sagenti Park for tonight's game between visiting Sactown and your and here's the lineup for tonight's game. First for the visitors, Sactown. Leading off and playing center field, number 1, Davis Golding. Heading second at shortstop, number 5, Ty Ramsey. At third, number 22, in after Drew Longacre. And fourth, in left field, number 24, NC Tillman. And in fifth, right fielder, number 21, Robert Marunian. And in sixth, and third base, number 7, Chase Tanner. At first base, number 18, Drew Holmes. Playing second base, number 2, Jacob Lyons. And the starting pitcher for Sactown, number 11, Devin Schuster. And now here's tonight's starting lineup for your and mix. Leading off, and the pitch from State University. Let's get it. So, and second, from California State University field, and Hitler, 4, 5, Hitler. And in third, in the University of Hickory, fielder, number 13, Heath. And in fourth, from Regis University, Scott, number 14, George Smith. And in fifth, out of Washington College, number 34, Saul. Batting sixth, from Penn State University, the catcher, number 43, Eden. Batting seventh, from Cleveland, Pierce University, third baseman, number 12, Luke. Hey, from West Sierra University, designated hitter, number 23. From Cleveland Pierce University, the second baseman, Ryan Sanders. And the Fresno. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time against everyone to please stand and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. Now they take their spot on the field. Here's our defensive lineup for the first play.
Alrighty, good evening, everyone watching, Fresno A's fans and Yankees fans, or just baseball fans in general. I am play-by-play announcer Jarrett Smith, and we are here at Chickchansey Park for a two-game series against the Sactown Yanks. These two games are going to be our last two before our, essentially, we'll call it a summer break. We're close to halfway. This is going to be game 20, tomorrow game 21, 44 games in the season, so unbelievable. We're already halfway there, but still plenty of more baseball action to come. And when we come back from that break, it's going to be fast and furious. Taking a look at the A's, they were 4-2 last week. Not a bad record for that, but looking to get a 2 wins here to feel good going into the break. 1 second here, folks. I'm going to have to close this door here for the. Okay. Zach Geis going to get that for me. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's take a look at the Fresno A's lineup here today. Leading things off, Scott Mitchell in left field. Second, Tyson Miller in center field. And then right field, Mikey Ramirez is batting third. We're getting the 1-2-3 punch from the outfielders here to start things out. Cleanup spot, George Smith. He got moved there in our last game on Sunday. Will be interesting to see what he can do in that spot. Batting fifth, Parker Cristall back in the lineup. He's at first base. Batting sixth, Hayes Edens behind the plate. And batting seventh, Luke Navad at the hot corner. Eighth, Jake Maynor. He will be DHing today. It'll be a second game with the A's. First game, he was at first base. And rounding things out in the ninth spot is Brian Sanders at second base. About ready to get things started here. Ryan Weller's going to be the starting pitcher here today out of Belmont Abbey College. Lead things off here for the Yankees is going to be Davis, the center fielder. His first pitch is a swing and a miss. Foul tip in the glove. Strike one. Weller in the windup for pitch number 2 on the way inside 1-1. Weller's had himself a great start to the season thus far, pitching 20 1/3 innings. It's his 4th start on the mound. As the 1-1's on the way, off speed, shot up the middle by George Smith. He'll fire it over to first in time for out number 1. But getting into Weller's stats more, this is his 4th start, as I mentioned. He is credited with 3 wins, no losses, 35 strikeouts to 18 free passes. He's admitted to himself in a post-game interview that the walks are higher than he would like. That equates to about a 2-to-1 ratio and 1.72 ERA and a batting average against of 108. Very low, very good stuff there from Mr. Weller. First pitch popped up in the air. Who wants it? Who's got it? It's George Smith, the shortstop, who runs in to make the catch for out number 2. All right, quickly 2 up, 2 down here for the Yankees on offense. Athletics and Weller liking that on defense to start out this ball game. Longaker is the 3rd batter. He's the catcher for the Yankees. Curveball breaks in there for a strike, 0-1. 2 outs, both been courtesy of George Smith, the shortstop. Yet another curveball in there, strike 2. And just like that, Weller is 1 pitch away from a very quick 1-2-3 inning. Pitch on the way, upstairs and in. Doesn't get the bite. So 1-2. Whoa, not 4-2. Not even 2-2. 1-2. There we go. Count correct on the screen. That 1-2 pitch was downstairs, so now it's 2-2. 2-2 pitch doesn't get the call on the outside, so count has filled up 3-2. Longaker's worked it from 0-2 to 3-2. Payoff pitch for Weller. Gets the ring up. Strike 3. Punch out looking. And that is 1-2-3. Set him down for Ryan Weller in this first inning. Good stuff. A's dugout hype. They like it. Good tone setter for the start of this game. And coming back with the bottom of the first, A's have their first ups in this ball game. All right, bottom of the first, we're back after 1-2-3 inning for Weller and the A's on defense. First pitch to the leadoff hitter, Scott Mitchell. Looked to be a slider that broke way outside, ball one. Scott Mitchell's first week back from injury. It's been good. He grounds this one over to the second baseman, bobbles it, throws it over to first, still gets him in time for out number one. Alrighty, one down already for the A's. Tyson Miller digging into the box. Miller is now up to 11 games with the team. Most of the everyday starters are averaging around 17 to 18 games, but in those 11 games for him, it has been very good, batting over 400. First pitch to him, off speed, taken for a strike. A little bit of info passed on from Scott Mitchell to Mikey Ramirez, the on-deck hitter, about what the pitcher might be doing here early on. Something perhaps with his release or just general intel. That last pitch was a ball, 1-1. This one chopped over to first baseman, fair territory, and just has to take one step to record out number two. So Schuster is the pitcher for Sactown Yankees. He seems to be following in Weller's foot, recording some quick outs here, keeping that pitch count low. He and the Sactown Yankees will certainly take balls on the ground here instead of getting them in the air elevated to the outfield. First pitch there to Mikey Ramirez is a ball, 1-0. Mikey has been in 17 games this year, played left field and right field. Pitch into him there was a strike. Ramirez has recorded a .393 batting average so far in the year and tied for the team leading 16 RBIs. Earlier in the year, we were seeing him in the lower half of the lineup, but he has been a main fixture in the top half of the lineup recently, typically staying within the top three. That pitch was in there for a strike. Pitch in there for a ball, count evens up 2-2. Schuster in the windup, and that was off speed, perhaps a curveball, but slipped out of the hands. Couldn't come back down in the zone. Count is full. Very nice day here in Fresno as 3-2's on the way. It nails Ramirez. He's taking a look at the pitcher Schuster on the way down the first, but he and the A's will take that free pass. So he'll be at first, bringing up the cleanup hitter, George Smith. But real quick, while we're waiting for George Smith to dig into the box, nice day today. 93 degrees at first pitch. But with it being later in the day, the shadows creeping in on the field, it certainly feels a lot nicer. All right, let's see what the A's can do with two outs here. First pitch, low, ball one. Schuster's 1-0. That one upstairs 2-0. Interesting difference in his deliveries here. Of course, with Ramirez on first base, he's working from the stretch, but in the windup, he has a very pronounced leg kick. Almost looks like Bronson Arroyo's old windup with the straight leg going way up. A little bit of a knee bend for him, but still a lot more horizontal than you're used to seeing with most pitchers in the windup. That one was fouled back into the stands, 2-1. But this stretch is very matter of fact. He's just almost pushing off that rubber and coming right at the plate, not even really bothering with much of a leg kick. Quick check on Ramirez over at first. He's safe. So still 2-1 count here to George Smith. Schuster's pitch on the way up and in, ball 3. Keep an eye on Ramirez to see if he plans on swiping second base. There he goes, and George Smith swings at that and fouls it. So count will fill up 3-2. Ramirez heads back to first. Safe to assume Ramirez will be on the move again with this being a full count and 2 outs. Payoff pitch here coming for Schuster. Here it comes on the way upstairs and gets the swing and the miss from George Smith. And that takes care of it. Both pitchers end their innings with strikeouts respectively. And the Yankees get a runner on base, but are able to get out of that inning quite easily, getting George Smith out. So no score here as we head to the top of the second. Top of the second, Ryan Weller's first pitch is fouled back 0-1. Leadoff batter and the cleanup hitter in this lineup is Tello, the left fielder. He is out of Butte College up in Northern California. Pitch number 2, hit up the middle. Is it going to fall into center field? Great catch from Tyson Miller. A's dugout goes nuts on that one, and with good reason. He laid out for that one, and it paid off. In the scorebook, it's going to go in as F8 for a fly out to 8, but F8 is going to be fantastic by Tyson Miller. So 1 down there. Weller brings the heat on that one, but misses outside 1-0. New batter here is Garduno, the right fielder. Swing and a miss on that one into the glove, 1-1. 1-1 pitch, chopped over to the right side of the field. Brian Sanders plays the hop, throws it to first in time, out number 2. Quick pace here to game here. Lots of early outs, fly out, ground out, 2 down here for the Yankees on offense. And that'll bring up the third baseman, Tanner. Breaking pitch catches the zone. Strike one. Weller's 0-1 on the way. Goes with it again and gets it again. 0-2. 0-2 pitch from Weller on the way. Tried it again. This one misses inside, perhaps low as well. 1-2. 1-2 pitch gets him to chase outside and low with the heater. And that will do it for the top of the second inning. Weller looks to be in control right now. 6 up, 6 down, and A's coming back up to bat in the bottom of the second. Back with the bottom of the second. Parker Cristall is the batter in the box. First pitch was way up and in, ball one. Second one tries to paint low and outside, no go, 2-0. Cristall has played in 14 games this year with a 3.43 average. Takes that, ball three. Has an OPS north of 1.000, 1.098 to be, as a matter of fact, I should say. And in his 12 hits, half of them are extra base hits, so very productive there. Schuster gets back in this count with a strike there, 3-1. Pitch on the way upstairs, ball four, and that's another part of Cristall's game I forgot to mention. When he's not hitting, he is getting on base. On base percentage well over 500, and there's another example of it. As he gets a leadoff walk there for the A's, first leadoff base runner for either team in this game. So with that, Hayes Edens, the catcher, digging in. Edens has played 12 games. He has started the most games out of all catchers. Schuster steps off there. A's dugout's wondering about a balk there, but looks like he was able to get that back foot off the rubber, behind the rubber first, to avoid anything like that. First pitch is called a strike inside, 0-1. But take a look at Edens. As mentioned, he has started the most games out of any catcher. That being Shaheen and Rodriguez have also started behind the dish. As Schuster checked on the runner over there, Cristall, he's in there safe. But Edens batting 286 on the year, and he's one of this one gets by the catcher, and Cristall's easily going to have second base. So 1-1 now to count. but was just going to finish up with Eden saying that he's one of 2 players on the team to have hit a home run this year, the other being George Smith. On 1 count, upstairs. Looks like missed with the 2-seamer, tailed up away from where he wanted it to. 2-1's the count to Edens, and the catcher Wangaker is gonna have a little conference with his pitcher Schuster just to settle things down. A lot of his misses have been up and in here in this inning. Gives a signal for 2-1 count. Now we're ready to get back in the action. Schuster's 2-1 pitch is hammered by Edens down the line. That's a base hit. Crystal's going to hang out at third base. Edens has first. First hit for either team in this game. And A's got something cooking here with no outs, runners on the corners. And that is going to bring up the third baseman, Luke Navad. First pitch, Navad sees, fouls it into the batter's box, 0-1. Navad digs back in, excuse me, 0-1 count. Swing and a miss on the off speed. Could have been a changeup. Had a little bit of drop to it, 0-2. First count that Schuster's been ahead in this inning. He throws that way upstairs. Catcher able to pick that one out of the air before it ends up being the first run of the game. Quick check on first on the way with the 1-2. Navad puts this one in play. It was a check swing, but hits his bat. But the third baseman fields it in foul ground, so we'll do it again on 1-2. Taking a look at Navad's stats on the year, batting .250, so 1 out of every 4 times he's getting a hit, and also tied for the team lead in 16 RBIs. He'd certainly like more here, but he won't get the chance. He gets drilled in the back, so there he goes to first. Second hit by pitch in this ball game for Schuster, and he finds himself in a bit of a jam here. Bases loaded for the A's and no outs. And here's a chance to make the mark early in his tenure with the A's this summer. Jake Maynor, the DH for today's game. This is only his 2nd game with the A's so far this year. Started at first base on Sunday. He was 1 for 5 in that game with a line drive single up the middle. Certainly looking to cash in his first ribbies of the season. First pitch taken for a strike. Schuster steps off there, asking to repeat through the signs. Getting to work through the windup now that bases are loaded. Perhaps that'll be a bit more comfortable for him. Misses outside with that, 1-1. So taking a look at the base runners, Crystal at third, Edens at second, Navad at first. 1-1 pitch fouled into the stands, 1-2. Schuster flashing the leather there a little bit. Might be changing up his grip there. 1-2 pitch on the way in the dirt. Good block from the catcher, though, to keep runners at bay. 2-2. Ninth hitter in the lineup for the A's is Brian Sanders. He is on deck. So with no outs here, A's threatening to get that top of the lineup back up, and this could turn into a big inning early on. 2-2 pitch on the way, misses outside. 3-2 count is full. Misses up and in. That's the first run of this ball game. Mainer's going to have first base and an RBI on the walk. There's Crystal coming to score. 1-0 A's. Schuster struggling with some control here early on in this game. He has 2 walks there and a hit by pitch. That hit by pitch is notable because he had Nevada down 0-2 and ended up giving him a free pass. 4 batters have batted so far, and none have gotten out. All have gotten on base. Brian Sanders hoping to do the same. First pitch to him was swung on and missed there for a strike. Sanders, similar as Miller, has played in 11 games. Him and Miller both got on the team and played their first games at the same time. That ball missed upstairs, 1-1. 176 batting average for Sanders, but he has 3 extra base hits out of his 6 hits, so getting an extra base hit half the time. So, and 6 RBIs too. So when he's putting that ball in play, he has been productive. It's a 2-1 count here to Sanders. Pitch on the way, swung on and missed. 2-2. Two-two pitch to Sanders. Had a lot of movement on it, but rose too high out of the zone. 3-2. Tell you what, if Schuster can get that one a little bit down in the zone, that's a really good pitch. It's got a lot of run on it and rises in the zone too. Very, very unique. That one rises too high out of the zone though. Ball 4 and another RBI coming in courtesy of a free pass. And that is going to prompt a visit from Coach Lando. The 2 RBIs early here on for the Athletics for Maynor and Sanders, but it's more like RWI run walked in. Either way, A's aren't going to argue about it. They are up 2-0 in this game. Edens was the one that came in to score there. So that means Nevada's at third, Maynor at second, and Sanders has first base. Don't imagine there's going to be a pitching change here this early in the ball game. And looks like that is the case. Schuster will stay on the mound. Just want to calm him down. Well, with Sanders getting on base, that means we got the top of the lineup for the A's. It's the leadoff hitter to start out this game. Scott Mitchell, first pitch upstairs. Fouled. Pretty sure that was a ball, but I thought I heard the umpire make the noise for a strike. But scoreboard shows 1-0, so I'm going to go with that. 1-0 pitch outside, breaks away from the zone, so 2-0. Don't think I got a chance to mention Mitchell's stats so far for the year. Was mentioned in It was his first week back. Well, here we go. Once again, doesn't give me a chance to get into his stats. This one's a fly out to right field. Quick throw in there, and Maynard's going to get caught up there. That was interesting. It does cash in a run in the form of Luke Navad, so 3-0 A's here, but they get doubled up on that one. Very strange play. Right fielder caught it, and he just fired that ball into second base, and Maynard was almost confused there whether he should run or not. He didn't tag up, so they were able to just get the out at second base. This one chopped to the second baseman. High hop for him. Has to jump, throw it over. Miller's able to beat it out. Great wheels by the kid there to get to first base. Really nothing the second baseman could have done on that one. Took a high hop, so high, in fact, he had to jump for it. Well, taking a look at our situation here, that should be runners at the corners here, 2 down. Infield single there for Miller, and that will bring up Mikey Ramirez. First pitch inside, gets the strike call, 0-1. Ramirez reached in the first inning on a hit by pitch, so no official at-bats for him so far today. 0-1 pitch on the way, catches the outside part of the plate. So 0-2 quickly for Schuster after working inside and outside back-to-back pitches. 0-2 pitch, yanked, gets away from the catcher. And here come the runners over to second and third. Excuse me, so it's not runners on the corners. Now it's going to be runners at second and third. So both runners move 90 feet there on Schuster. Not ideal, but still doesn't necessarily have to hurt him. One pitch away from being out of this inning. Schuster's 1-2 pitch on the way to Ramirez, two-seamer, too high, 2-2. Two-two pitch, and Ramirez gets rung up there on strike 3, catches the outside part of the plate. Just what Schuster and the Sactown Yankees needed, but they do give up 3 in that inning. But could have been worse. That double play was very fortunate for them. But it's 3-0 Athletics as we go to the top of third. First pitch of this third inning for Ryan Weller hits the batter on the elbow, and he's going to take first base. That certainly doesn't feel good, but looks like he's doing all right. That's leadoff base runner here for the Yankees in the form of the first baseman Fox. They'll certainly take that. Was just going to mention that curious to see how Weller will do out there because that was a bit of a longer break for him in the dugout. First pitch is a changeup for a ball 1-0. Taking a couple looks at first on the way home, gets in there for a strike. But yeah, as mentioned, A's nearly batted their way through the lineup in the bottom of the second, so that is a bit of an extended rest on the or in the dugout there for Weller. 1-1 pitch on the outside part of the plate called strike 1 and 2. Long pause, now pitch on the way 1-2. Tried to get the breaking ball to paint the corner, no go 2-2. Lyons is the batter, lefty there in the box, second baseman. Plays at American River College. 2-2 pitch. There it is. Strike 3. Sit him down. Strikes out looking there. 1 down in this inning. Second backwards K for Weller. 3 total in the game. So 1 out, runner still at first, and it is the pitcher, Schuster, for his first at-bat. First pitch taken there for a ball. Perhaps this at-bat, if it goes well for him, could be a nice boost in confidence after that rough inning on the mound. 1-0 pitch, upstairs. That was some hard stuff from Weller, but just a bit too high, 2-0. And I tell you what, just in my personal opinion, nice to see pitchers hitting, actually. We don't see that too often with some pretty big rosters with teams we play against, and ourselves included. That one's a breaking ball that doesn't get back in the zone. 3-0 here for Schuster. But anyways, we've seen the pitchers hitting be removed from MLB altogether. Used to be the NL and now just universal DH. So kind of nice to see pitchers hit. But anyways, 3-0, fouled into the stands, 3-1. Chop to the third baseman, Navad. This could be 2. Throws it to second, down to first. There it is. 6-4-3 double play. That's the end of the inning. Good stuff there from the Athletics infield to get that inning done and dusted. So it's still 3-0 A's, and we'll go to the bottom of the third. A's looking to add some more. We're back with the bottom of the third. George Smith leads things off here for the Athletics. First pitch to him, outside, ball one. Smith struck out to end the first inning his first time up. Schuster's 1-0 pitch turns into 2-0, inside and up. So far for the A's, 3 runs on 2 hits, no errors. This one hit down the right field line. First baseman's on the run for it. Can't get to it in time, so foul ball. 2-1 count. Taking a look at some of those comments. Thank you for tuning in from the East Coast. Yeah, look at that. What is it, 9:50 out there right now? Appreciate your support. And absolutely go A's. Two on pitch. On the way. Gets in there. Strike 2. Foul to the screen there, 2-2 yet again. Take a look at Schuster. He's actually still a high schooler. Plays his baseball at Folsom High School, so in the Sacramento area. And that is a theme with a lot of these players on the Sactown Yankees playing their ball at local JCs in the Sacramento area. Couple exceptions though. Growley, the leadoff hitter, he plays at Long Beach City, and Ramsey is at Lubbock Christian. This one finds a gap for a base hit. Diving shortstop couldn't quite knock it down, and George Smith settles in with the A's third hit of the game. It's a leadoff single for George Smith. He's used to doing that this year. And here comes Parker Crystal. Pitch in the dirt there, ball one. Crystal able to work a walk last inning, and he was the leadoff runner and ended up resulting in a 3-run inning for the A's. Schuster checks on George Smith over at first. 1-0 pitch to Crystal's popped high in the air to center field and trapped for out number 1. A little bit of a backpedal though, a little nervy there, but still able to secure it for out number 1. So with that one down, Hayes Eden's the catcher coming up to bat. First at bat for him, he was able to single. George Smith able to get back into first base safely, checked on again by Schuster. Now he comes home with the first pitch. George Smith on the move. This one's hit in the air. He's going to have to retreat back to first, most likely. It's a pop-up. Oh, no, it drops. He might still be out at second, though. Yes, he is. Looks like the shortstop and left fielder lost that one in the sunlight. That shadow sun sort of line, or the shadow line, is right at the edge of the infield grass there, so probably tough to pick it up, but still able to record it out there. All right, then. So 2 down. Luke Devad digging in. He was hit by a pitch last inning. First pitch, 2-seamer in there for a strike. Go A's from Kingsburg. Thank you very much for the support. Go A's. 0-1 count to Devad. Pitch on the way. Doesn't get the call, low and outside, 1-1. It's a good chase pitch there from Schuster, but definitely not close enough to paint the corner. 1-1 pitch. That one's going to be a strike. Yes, it is. 1-2. Navad was down to 2 strikes in his at-bat last inning, but as mentioned, able to get on base with a hit by pitch. Going to try and work his way out of a pitcher's count here. Schuster, couple head bobbles over to first, looking. Now tries to get the call on the outside. That was a good pitch, good location, but Navad able to lay off for 2-2. Two-two pitch on the way, and that one gets the call. Looked pretty similar to the last pitch, but Navad rung up on strikes, backward K, and Yankees able to put up a scoreless inning there. They need it. So even with 3 runs here, that Schuster's been able to record 4 strikeouts through 3 innings. Solid work from him on that in that department. 3-0 A's as we head to the top of the 4th. Top of the 4th, we're back. First pitch. George Smith had to put his hand up in front of his face to see that one. Throw over to first, low in the dirt. Base runner's going to stay put, though. But did it go into the dugout? Yes, it did. So that's going to be second base for the leadoff hitter, Growley there. Looks like he might have pulled something, though, or did the ball hit him? Unsure, but something's bothering him. So yeah, that sunlight's playing a factor here. We saw it in the last half of the inning with that ball looping into shallow left center field, and George Smith had to try and block the sun there to see that chopper coming at him. That's going to be second base for Golly there. Unsure whether the score is going to rule that as a hit or an error. It would either just be straight up E6 or infield single, reach on an error to second. But aside from all the specific baseball scoring talk, we'll get back to this new at-bat. First pitch strike there to the shortstop, Ramsey. Ruled a single there, so First base hit of the game for the Sactown Yankees. That pitch from Weller upstairs, 1-1. Mentioned how Weller discussed he was not pleased with the amount of free passes he's issued. None here so far in this game, but one hit by pitch. That one fouled into the screen, 1-2. One-two pitch, went with the slider there, misses just off the plate, 2-2. So count even 2-2. Weller taking a couple looks at the runner at second. Comes home. That one is going to be a punch out looking. Strike three there. Ramsey's going to go sit down. Longaker, the catcher, coming up. He struck out in his first at bat. Both pitchers going tit for tat here with the strikeouts, both recording 4 thus far. Weller has 3 strikeouts looking, though. Sanders, quick run over to second to fake. He's going to cover. That pitch missed low there, 1-0. Pitch, and that one gets away from Edens, and that's going to be third base there for the Yankees. Looked like Edens might have been setting up for an outside pitch there and then got surprised with the inside pitch, tried to bring the glove quickly over, but bounced off his glove to the backstop. 2-0 count here in this at-bat, and Yankees have their first run sitting 90 feet away. 2-0 pitch, goes with off speed, misses. Weller in the windup, 3-0, trying to get back in the at-bat. Doesn't, though. That's a 4-pitch walk. And now there's going to be runners on the corners for Sactown. All right, good chance for the Yankees to start clawing back in this one, get some runs on the board. First pitch, fouled into the stands, 0-1. New batters, the cleanup hitter, Tello, the left fielder, Ute College. First time up for him, he flew out to center field. That was that remarkable diving catch from Miller. A 1 pitch, swung on and missed, 0-2. It's a good count here for Weller if he can get this guy out 2 down. Obviously, the double play ball is in play as well. A's got out of last inning with a double play ball. But that one's going to be yet another strikeout look, and Tello's going to have a seat. And 5 strikeouts for Weller. Two down in this inning. Bases still remain at the corners. Right fielder Garduno up. First pitch to him outside, but called for a strike, 0-1. Weller, a couple head nods. That means he's looking over at the runner at first. That one's fouled slowly back to the screen. That might have looked cool on our home plate cam, 0-2. Ethan Wood might have come into view there, collecting the foul ball. We've seen Ethan Wood appear in the last 2 games pinch hitting. We'll await to see when he'll be full-time back in the lineup. 0-2 pitch, misses outside and perhaps low, 1-2. Telling him to step off. Runner is caught in between here. This is going to be a pickle. Now they're throwing it home. Weller throws it away well over Eden's head. That's a run scored. Here's the runner to third, and now he's in a pickle yet again. This time he's out, but that run is going to score. Heck of a sequence there. And the runner in between first and second able to squeeze out a run there. So 3-1 now the score after that very interesting sequence. But end of the inning, A's are going to come up for their at-bats in the bottom of the fourth. Garduno is still going to remain at bat since that out was recorded during his at-bat. So he will lead things off in the top of the fifth for the Yankees. I don't even know how that scored. All right, bottom of the fourth, A's back up to bat. Jake Maynor leading things off. First pitch for a strike. Maynor's first at bat. He had himself a walk and cashed in the first RBI. This one's popped up into shallow center field, able to trap it for the catch, one down. With that, Brian Sanders coming up, the second baseman for the Athletics. Same story for him, walked and cashed in an RBI. So looking to get something started here to get back that one run and perhaps more for the A's here in the bottom of the fourth. Thinking about that, I think that Longaker got caught in that pickle on purpose because he easily had second base if he wanted to, as that one was called strike on the swing. He could have easily had second base on Weller. He was well on his way. A's dugout was yelling at Weller to step off, and then that ensued the start of the pickle as this one's hitting to shallow left field. Dive, doesn't get there. It gets past the left fielder, center fielder there to back up. Sanders trying to stretch it to two. He does. All right, so double there for Sanders, and as mentioned, when he gets that ball in play, it's productive. That'll be his seventh hit on the year and fourth extra base hit. So top of the lineup here, Scott Mitchell. Grounded to second base to start things out in this game, and then had a sac RBI on that strange double play that saw Maynard get out at second for not tagging up, or getting back to second, that is. First pitch here to Mitchell in there for a strike. But to finish my point on that play that ended the top of the fourth, that ended up getting them busy with Longacre in between first and second and allowed Rowley to end up going for home, and he was in there safely on that errant throw from Weller. So perhaps a 200 IQ move there for the Yankees since there was two down, trying to create their own run instead of getting a hit there with two down. Last pitch there from Mitchell was a ball, so 1-1. This one popped high in the air to the first baseman and foul ground, almost overruns it, but able to secure it for out number 2. Here comes Tyson Miller, 1 for 2 today with a single in the second inning. Also has that highlight reel catch in center field. Looks like something you'd see on the Sports Center top 10. First pitch to him there was a ball. Looks like Coach Lando there for the Yankees calling out some defensive alignments. This 1-0 pitch fouled into the stands, 1-1. Miller digs back in with 1-1. Pitch on the way, too high, 2-1. Two O's on the way, or 2-1 pitch on the way, that is, but now it'll be 3-1. Miller in a hitter's count here. Three-one pitch in the dirt, gets away from the catcher. So Sanders is going to easily have third base, and Miller is going to have first. Runners on the corners here, 2 down. Another chance here for the A's to score and get that one run back that they allowed in the top half of this inning. Little conference going to happen on the mound here, prompted by the players. Full infield is going to come in to talk with Schuster. Batter awaiting his third at-bat of the day is Mikey Ramirez. Hit by pitch in the first inning and struck out looking to end the second inning. Signals coming out from the A's dugout there. We'll see what they might have planned. This could be a good time here with 2 down and runners on the corners for Miller to go ahead and steal second base. He's already got himself a healthy lead there at first. We'll see if he takes off. Schuster, a couple looks over, another one now on the way. Miller is on the run, down to second he goes, throws in time. Did he squeeze the ball? Yes, he did. So Sactown able to get out of that inning with a throw down to second. Caught stealing is Miller. Nice throw down there, and no runs allowed in that inning. So Ramirez will be back up to bat when we go to the bottom of the 5th. And Yankees coming back up for the top of the 5th, trying to score some more runs here to get back into this one. 3-1, top of the 5th coming up. All right, top of the fifth, Ryan Weller still out there on the bump for the A's. Garduno leading things off for Sactown. First pitch, check swing. No call on that. They're going to appeal to the first base umpire. No swing call from him, so 1-0. Garduno was up to bat in the last inning, but was at bat when that interesting play, getting the pickle with the runner from first to second, and then their first run scored happened. And interestingly enough, that's the case for both teams in this fifth inning. Garduno coming back up with his at-bat. Pause there in the top of the fifth as he grounds this one to the third baseman over to first in time, out number one. But to finish that point, also, it's going to be the same thing for Mikey Ramirez as Miller was cut down stealing in between his at-bat. So one down here, third baseman Tanner coming up, 0 for 1 on the day so far with a strikeout. Speaking of strikeouts, 5 so far for Weller. Challenged him inside with some heat there, but ball 1-0. 1-0 pitch, looked to be a slider. That one slides too far off the plate. 2-0. In the dirt there, 3-0. Good hitters count here for Tanner. Weller's 3-0, trying to get back into this one. Misses low, ball 4. Tanner will have himself first base. Second walk for Weller of the day. Both have been just 4-pitch walks. One hit by pitch as well, but otherwise it's been strikeouts, groundouts, and flyouts. So a reset here for Weller. First pitch gets it in there low and inside, 1-0, or 0-1 that is, to the new batter Fox. Fox was the one guy for the Yankees that's been hit by a pitch. Swing and a miss there at that off speed. That was crisp and right at him. So 2 count here after a 4-pitch walk. Weller looking for his 6th strikeout. 0-2 pitch. There it is. Catches low part of the zone. And Fox is sat down on 3 straight pitches. 2 down. So as mentioned, 6 strikeouts for Weller, but most impressive out of those 6 strikeouts, 5 of them have been looking. Before throwing the first pitch, the new batter Lions just takes a quick visit to first base with the base runner Tanner. He's in there safe. Now coming home with the first pitch, low in the dirt. Weller's 1-0 on the way, swung on and missed 1-1. Lions 0 for 1 on the day, one of the 5 batters that have struck out looking. 1-1 pitch on the way. Eden's able to dig that one. It's 2-1 count here with 2 outs. Weller. Long pause now. Pitch on the way. Gets it on the outside part of the plate. 2-2. Weller comes set now, looking for that strikeout pitch to get out of this top of the 5th. Long pause, pitch on the way, swing and a miss. There it is, 7 Ks for Weller in 5 innings, 2 of them in this inning, and A's defense coming in after that strong inning, only 1 walk, but 2 strikeouts, going to the bottom of the 5th, 3-1 Athletics. Bottom of the 5th, first pitch to Mikey Ramirez in there for a ball. Mikey coming up for attempt number 2 of his 3rd at-bat after Miller was cut down, trying to steal second. He rips that one down the first base line. Looked like it just bobbled past the third baseman. Here goes Mikey for 2. Going for 3, as a matter of fact. And he's in there. Oh, wow, wow. Leadoff triple there for the A's. Mikey Ramirez making that worth his while. That was a strange one. Almost looked like it hit off of the third baseman's glove, but still rolled pretty far down the line and perhaps took a weird hop off of the visitor's bullpen. But now here with the runner on third and no outs, A's are primed to cash in at least another run. First pitch here to George Smith, ball 1-0. Schuster's still the pitcher here on the mound for Sactown. Pitch number 2 to George Smith of this at bat. Just catches the top of the zone, 1-1. Take a look at Schuster's pitch count. He's up to 84 now, so good chance this will be his last inning of work. Hit in between the 5-6 gap. That's a base hit. Mikey Ramirez comes in to score. George Smith settles in at first base with an RBI single. A's up 4-1. All right, so after that, Parker Crystal is the new batter, but this might be the end of the line here for Schuster. Coach Lando out to the mound to have a chat. Doesn't quite look like they're making a move for a pitcher, unless he's just going to take up his time to chat. When the umpire comes out, make the decision then. But perhaps Schuster's going to stay in this game, and hopefully they'll get a 5th inning out of him. umpire out to the mound to say, all right, that's enough time, but still chatting here a little bit, actually. Catcher and ump having a nice little chat coming back to the mound, and it does indeed look like Schuster's going to remain on the mound. All right, with that, we will get into this next at bat. Back-to-back hits here for the A's in this inning. Leadoff triple for Ramirez and RBI single for George Smith. Parker Cristall would like to make that 3 in a row. First pitch to him. In the dirt, George Smith easily takes second base. Looks like he might have already been on the move anyways before that ball was in the dirt. So he has second base. Cristall is 0 for 1 today, walked in the second inning and scored the game's first run and flew out to center. Pitch is chopped back to the screen, 1-1. There comes Ethan Wood into view to get that foul ball. Peek over at second base now on the down in the dirt. George Smith hustles to get back to second base to avoid the throw down. 2-1. 2-1 pitch on the way, chopped in the left side of the field. Shortstop gets it, throws it over to first in time for the out. Nice play there by the Yankees to get that out. It does successfully move George Smith over to third base, though. So productive out here for the A's. So Hayes Edens will now step in trying to drive George Smith home. 1 for 2 on the day, single, and scored a run in the second. This one's another single. Blasted by the shortstop into center field. There's George Smith trotting into home, and Eden settles in with an RBI single. 5-1 A's. All right, already 2 runs on the board here for the Athletics. Certainly looking to get some more, and this might be a base hit. No, hangs up just enough for the center fielder to trap it. Nice solid contact there from Luke Navad, but just one of those that goes right into the glove. So now 2 down in this inning. Hayes Edens remains at first base, and that'll bring up the DH, Jake Maynor. Maynor 0 for 1 today, walked, has an RBI, and he flew out to center field his last time up in the fourth. That would look like a slider that gets out away from the zone, 1-0. Schuster peeks a couple times at Edens at first, now comes home, low in the dirt. Catcher was trying to make Edens think he was coming with the back pick, but Edens was cool as a cucumber though there over at first. It's a 2-0 count here from Maynor. Pitch on the way, blasted out to left field. It's going to drop in front of the left fielder. Base hit. So Eden settles in at second. Maynor at first with a hit. That is the 4th hit of this inning. And A's threatening to get some more runs here with 2 down. Brian Sanders, 9-hitter, stepping into that box now. Had himself a double last time he was up. Another double would do the A's just fine here. Interesting to note, oh, that one's chopped to the third baseman who backhands it and steps on third base for the force out in the end of this inning. So ground out to third baseman ends that, but 7 batters here for the A's in the bottom of the 5th. They're able to get 2 more runs on the board and have a 4-run lead as they head to the top of the 6th. Top of the 6th, starting pitcher for Sactown. Schuster's leading things off here. Ryan Weller still on the mound for the A's, looking for 6 innings of work. This one's fouled against the screen, 0-1. Schuster's first at bat, he grounded into an inning-ending 6-4-3 double play in the 3rd. He swings and misses at that one, 0-2. Weller only at 63 pitches here in the 6th inning. Good stuff from him. Might even see him seek a 7th inning, but all dependent on the A's coaching staff in terms of how they might want to limit his pitch count. 0-2 pitch to Schuster. Slider breaks way out of the zone. Easy take there for Schuster, 1-2. So 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Slider breaks down out of the zone. Good pitch for Weller. Strikeout number 8 on the day. So that will bring up the top of the lineup for Sactown. Brawley is the second batter of this inning. 1 for 2 in this game, single in the 4th, and scored the only run for Sactown thus far. First pitch outside, 1-0. Strike there called on the outside part of the plate, 1-1. That one in the dirt there, 2-1. Tell you what, quick moving game here. Just a couple minutes past the hour-and-a-half mark, and already working the top of the 6th inning with 1 out. Called strike there, 2-2. Did he offer it that one? They check with the first base up, no go. Edens tagged him just in case since that was in the dirt. But that one's ruled a ball, so full count here. Weller in the windup, payoff pitch on the way, too high, taken for ball 4. So there will go Drawley over to first, third walk of the day for Weller.
Now batting number 5, Ty Ramsey.
Action going on in the bullpen for Sactown Yankees. First pitch on the way, strike in there. Batter right now is Ramsey, the shortstop. Second pitch to him, swung into the screen, falls harmlessly into the Athletics dugout, 0-2. Ramsey 0 for 2 today. He popped out to the shortstop and a strikeout looking. Oh, 2 pitch here for Weller. That was some heat upstairs, but easy take there for Ramsey, 1-2. It looked to be a slider missed upstairs, perhaps a bit outside as well, 2-2. That one swung on and missed. Strike 3, 9 Ks here for Weller. Do believe that is the highest count for an individual performance so far this season for the A's. Good stuff here from Weller, 2 down. The catcher, Longaker up, first pitch, gets away from Edens. A little bit of a delayed reaction there from Growley, but he'll be into second base. So 1-0 is the count now. This one hit to Sanders at second base, fields it cleanly, throw over to first base in time. Out number 3. Good inning of work there yet again for the A's. They've been smooth on defense, and Weller's been even smoother on the bump. 9 strikeouts, and if that's the end of the day for him, what a day it was. So 5-1 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Bottom of the sixth, it is the top of the lineup, 1-2-3 for the Athletics to start things. First pitch past the catcher to the backstop, 1-0 to Scott Mitchell. New pitcher on the mound here is Mason Moore for Sactown. His second pitch of his outing is in the dirt yet again, 2-0. Mitchell 0 for 2 today, fly out, ground out, but had a sac RBI in the second. This pitch over his head, had to duck there to not get drilled in the helmet, 3-0. That one misses down, ball 4, leadoff walk here for Mitchell on 4 pitches. And no hesitation here. Looks like the coach Lando points to some guy in the bullpen. One batter, one walk here for Moore. Very interesting. Perhaps just his intended replacement wasn't quite ready and wanted him to get a few more warm-up pitches. Got one guy in there. So new pitcher coming in just like that. So that's only one at-bat, one walk. It's going to be for Mason Moore. And while we're waiting for warm-ups, we'll go ahead and pull up the stats for Schuster's outing. So Schuster, 5 innings of work there on how many pitches? 95. Wowzers, that's a lot. So 9 hits there, 5 runs, all of them earned, 3 strikeouts to 4 walks. It's not the cleanest of outings there for him, but was able to get some punch outs in there. New pitcher warming up on the mound is Omar Martin. So Coach Lando came to this 2-game series here with only 2 players listed on the sub list, and he has used both of them at this point. So Mason not able to be used anymore, and it is going to be Martin now, most likely closing things out here for the team, but perhaps a position player will come in to pitch. And I will be right back once warm-ups are done. Well, fortunate for us, warm-ups took not too long, actually. So we're back in action. Tyson Miller is the new batter here. First batter for Martin's outing, and the first pitch was a ball there, 1-0. Swing and a miss there from Miller, 1-2. Catcher stands up there for a second. Heard somebody tell Martin to step off. He does. Now we'll reset. Miller has a base hit and the walk on the day. 1-2 pitch, hammered down the line, but way foul, close to the Athletics bullpen, but out of play. This one hit to center field. Is it going to drop? No. Center fielder able to run up and make that catch. So Mitchell will stay at first, one down. Fly out to center for Miller. Mikey Ramirez coming up, and that is Mr. Triple for the day. Had a leadoff triple last inning and ended up getting cashed in by a George Smith single. Pitch on the way to Ramirez is a breaking ball, breaks off the plate, 1-0. This one gets away from the catcher just enough. Mitchell's on the run, but still might be thrown out. No! Second baseman not able to trap that one cleanly. He had a shot at it, but no go. So Mitchell settles in at second. Ramirez digs in with a 2-0 count. Two 2-0 pitch from Martin. Does not get the outside part of the plate. Looked to be good location, but Ramirez in a very favorable 3-0 count. 3-0 pitch down the pipe. It's fouled. Is it going to get out of play? Yes, it is. Just barely. Sorry if that lighting's not so good here right now with the shadows. Once it starts getting darker, should be a lot better with those lights taking over the field. So that was a walk there for Mikey Ramirez. Runners on first and second for the A's. They're in business for potentially getting some more runs. And here comes George Smith. 2 base knocks for him on the day. Wouldn't mind a third. First pitch of the at-bat to Smith. Martin tries to break a curveball in there, but too high, 1-0. Pitch number 2, misses low and outside, 2-0. Martin struggling to find the strike zone here early. Strike there on the outside part of the plate, 2-1. Martin's 2-1 pitch served out to right field. Is it going to hang up? No, it's over his head. Base hit. Mitchell's going to score. Ramirez is close on his tail. Look at this, folks. Mitchell in. And Ramirez in. And George Smith with the 2 RBI triple. 7-1 A's. Second triple of the day. So A's able to drive some runs in here today. Good hitting with runners on base. That's been an issue in some games this season, but certainly not today. George Smith is now 90 feet away for Parker Cristall. First pitch to him, upstairs and in. Nearly hit him, but able to get out of the way of that. 1-0. Cristall 0 for 2 today. Did walk and score the game's first run. Martin's 1-0 pitch is hit high in the air down the first base line. And that one's going to be caught in foul territory by the first baseman. So now with that, it is 2 down, and Hayes Eden's coming up. He has 2 singles of his own today. Scored a run in the second and cashed in an RBI in the 5th inning. Quick pause going on there. Not too sure what was going on, but the infield umpire walked in a little bit, I guess just to chat, perhaps. So first pitch is a curveball that slipped out of the hand up high, 1-0. Martin's 1-0 pitch inside, 2-0. We'll take a peek at that nice golden hour filter on those buildings in downtown Fresno. Great sight. 2-0 pitch inside there, 3-0. Hitters count here for Edens, and that's going to be a 4-pitch walk, so he'll have first base. Runners on the corners for the A's, still threatening to scratch across some more runs. And it's going to be up to Luke Navad to drive in those base runners. Navad's been on base once. He's 0 for 2. That was via getting hit by a pitch, and he has scored once today. First pitch to him, fouled straight back to the screen, 0-1. Upstairs with that one, 1-1. This one up in the air. First baseman trying to get it. He does have it. Traps it for out number 3. So two runners left on base there for the A's, but 2 of them were not, as 2 of them came in to score on George Smith's big 2 RBI triple, and that extends this lead to a comfortable 6 runs. They are up 7-1 as we head to the top of the 7th. Top of the seventh here, A's up big, and we do have a pitching change here as this one is popped up into shallow center field. Who wants it? Looks like Tyson Miller does. He's under it and traps it for out number one. So new pitcher here is Cal Noonan, the lefty. First pitch from Noonan to the new batter. There is a strike. New batter Garduno. Second one, tried to drop it in for a strike, but no go, 1-1. Been chatting with Cal Noonan recently about the Stanley Cup playoffs. He is, of course, from Canada, so was rooting for the Oilers to break that Canadian curse and get over the hump and be the first Canadian team to win in over 30 years. As that one swung on a miss, strikeout for Noonan, first of the game for him. But spoiler alert, so for people who don't want to hear, go ahead and cover your ears. But that will not be happening. Oilers lose 5-1 to the Panthers in Game 6. So Panthers repeat as Stanley Cup champions tonight. First pitch to Tanner there for a ball, 1-0. Looked like a two-seamer there or a changeup, catches the outside part of the zone, 1-1. Gets the curveball to clip the outside part of the corner there, 1-2. Swing and a miss in the dirt. That's a strikeout, but catcher Rodriguez has to make the throw over to complete the play. He does. Quick 1-2-3 inning of work for Noonan. Good stuff. 2 strikeouts to end the inning. And A's are cruising here 7-1 as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Stretch time here in Fresno. Well, sure hope you enjoyed the seventh inning stretch. I sure did. Just taking in the beauty at Chachansey Park. And it got me thinking, I haven't mentioned about the dimensions here at the ballpark, so why don't we run those down as the leadoff hitter is coming up for the Athletics and looks to be a debut on the season, as a matter of fact. Got to bring the roster up and see who this is because this is a new guy here. Isaac Fernandez making his debut here for the Athletics. First pitch to him, upstairs, ball one. So he will be pinch hitting, but I reckon subbing for Jake Maynor in the DH spot. This one misses low 2-0. Another substitution to note that I didn't mention in the top of the seventh inning is that Julian Rodriguez came in to catch. So Hayes Eden's day is done, but good day for him. Couple of knocks and RBI. 3-0 pitch upstairs. Fernandez takes a healthy hack at it, but misses. 3-1. Chopped it to the first baseman. Looked like it was going to go foul, but nope. First baseman says, I got it. Goes to first with it. Out number one. Wish I could tell you where Fernandez goes to college at, but I actually don't have him on the roster list on my computer, so I'll have to do some investigative journalism for you in the future to find out that information. But one down here and up to the plate is Brian Sanders' first pitch, ball 1-0. Sanders 1 for 2 today with a double and had an RBI courtesy of the free pass in the second inning. 1-0 pitch on the way up and outside, ball 2. But yeah, getting back to my point, I was going to tell you about the dimensions and got off track there. So left field foul pole, we got 324. In left center, 385. Dead center, 400. That's a deep dimension. And right center, we actually looks like they don't have a dimension listed there because there's a lot of advertisements over there. So we'll move on out to right field foul pole as Sanders works a 4-pitch walk there. Second walk for him of the day. So yeah, the right field foul pole, 335. So actually 11 feet further than the right field or left field foul pole, but a lot shorter of a wall. And out over there is Splash Park, where kids could go out and beat the heat with the nice little water park they got out there. First pitch was a slider there that breaks off the plate for 1-0 count here to the one hitter, Scott Mitchell. Mitchell walked last time he was up. This time he blasted out to center field. He's on the run. Can't get it over his head. Sanders on his way to third. Mitchell to second. Sanders is going to come around to score, most likely. Throw, no throw. Sanders stops on home plate resoundingly. Scores the 8th run of this ball game. RBI double for Scott Mitchell, and A's up big, 8-1.
Now that is number 4.
Nice smack there from Scott Mitchell. Wonder if the center fielder was playing at a normal depth or up a little more there to perhaps stop a little shallow hit into the outfield and try and gun Sanders out at home, but nothing doing there as that one was blasted over his head. Nice hit there for Mitchell. First pitch into the new batter, Miller, called strike 0-1. Miller with a base knock and a walk himself. As mentioned, he's been hitting the ball pretty well early on in his season, and he does it again. Yes, gets by the shortstop out into the outfield. Mitchell not going to be able to score on that one, but Miller collects another single, and runners on the corners, one out. Everything seems to be going well here for the A's in this game. Great starting pitching outing. Noonan had himself a nice first inning of work and 8 runs on the board on 11 hits. Certainly going to be happy about that. That'll bring up the 3-hitter, Mikey Ramirez. First pitch, up and in, ball 1. Ramirez has been hit by a pitch and walked, but had that huge triple in the 6th inning. One of 2 triples in this game. So Hayes Edens just went ahead and corrected me. It should have been Mikey Ramirez, but if I would have paid more attention, I would have saw it's Luke Ree coming in to pinch hit. Thank you, Hayes. Was working on autopilot there, and it got me there. But anyways, Luke Ree in with the hitter's count here, 3-0. So that'll be the end of the day for Ramirez. But as mentioned, great triple for him in this one. 3-0 pitch hammered out to left center field. It has both the outfielders back, and it gets to the wall, throw in. That's going to get cash in Mitchell. Here comes Miller. That's another run, 2 RBI double for Luke Ree. How about that? First at bat of the game, and he makes it count. Ten to 1 here, A's, and one more run, and that should be the ball game. Although we do not have a time constraint with the Grizzlies playing after us, so we'll see if we do play with mercy rule here today. But A's just pouring it on here in the 7th inning, and in this game in general, 3 runs there. Looking at the box score, no runs in the first, 3 in the second, none in the 3rd or 4th, but 3 innings in a row, 2, 2, 3, and we're still working on that 3 in this inning. All right, George Smith coming up. He has one of 2 triples on the day, as mentioned last at bat. First pitch curveball, breaks in for a strike. Not only does George Smith have a triple, but he also has 2 other base hits, 3 RBIs on the day. So very good day for him at the plate. Breaking ball catches the outside part of the plate there, 0-2. First count that Martin's been ahead in a little bit. 0-2 pitch on the way. Curveball spiked in the dirt outside. Good block there from the catcher, 1-2. Steps out of the batter's box there for a second. Wonder if his teammates might have been distracting them there for a second. Not in a bad way, of course. Steps back in for 1-2. This one down the pipe and fouls it into the catcher. Do it again, 1-2. So with 3 hits in a row here in this inning, the A's have 12 hits in this game. Great production at the plate. We'll bring it back to the home plate view here. Take a look here. Yeah, that picture's looking better. I could tell when I took a look on the live feed that the shadow was definitely causing some issues with visibility for you at home, but now we got the lights really taking over the field view and looking really nice here at Chachansey Park. That one misses outside ball, and Martin was not happy about that. He snapped his glove. at that ball returning to him from the catcher. So from 0-2 to 3-2 here as that pitch misses way outside. Yank the fastball. Martin comes set now. Payoff pitch on the way. George Smith swings and misses at that breaking ball. Good pitch from Martin. Strikeout and 2 down. Looks like that's the first strikeout of Martin's relief so far. Parker Crystal digging into the box. 0 for 3 today, but has got on base and scored once. He'd certainly like to join the hit party here and cash in. Luke Ree at second. That one doesn't catch the outside part of the plate. 1-0. Martin takes a peek at Ree at second, comes back home. 1-0 pitch on the way. Hit hard and high, but out of play and out of the stadium for that fact. Hit the roof and is probably out on the street. So 1-1 pitch here for Crystal. Julian Rodriguez is on deck. It would be his first at-bat of the game if he gets up in this inning. Will be for that next inning for that matter if the A's don't mercy rule here. Anyways, that pitch was upstairs 2-0 or 2-1 that is to Crystal. Pitch on the way down in the dirt. Good block from the catcher, but 3-1 count here for Crystal. Good hitters count here for Crystal to get his first hit of the day. Martin comes home with it. This one's hammered into left field, but caught. That was a good liner, sinking liner, but left fielder able to make the catch on it, and that will do it for this inning. But A's able to get 3 more runs on the board here. They are up big 10-1 as we go to the top of the 8th. This one put in play. Kristoff flips over to Noonan, but Fox able to beat it out in time for an infield single. One of those awkward hits into the Bermuda Triangle of pitcher, first, and second baseman, and it pays off for Fox. So runner on first here for Sactown. Certainly a giant hole for them to dig out of here, but at the very least would like to get a couple of runs on the board to go into tomorrow with feeling good. That one swung on and missed for a strike, 0-1. Only the second hit of this ball game, one against Weller, and of course the other one being against the current pitcher Noonan. Current batter here is Lyons, the second baseman for Sactown. Pitch on the way, up in the air into shallow center field. Is it going to be Sanders or Miller that gets it? This one bounces in front of Miller's glove and able to get him at second base. Wow. That put Fox in a weird position because he didn't know if Miller was going to catch it or not. Just bounced in front of his glove, but able to swallow it up in the glove on one hop and threw it from on the ground to second base to get the force out at second. So after all that action, it's just a fielder's choice for Lyons. He'll settle in at first, one out. Swing and a miss there. Strike one to the new batter. That is Schuster. No, it's not. Excuse me. It's the pitcher, Martin. So he takes the 9 spot here for Schuster. 0-1 pitch, chopped to third base. Is Nevada able to get it? Yes, he is. Goes with the out at first base. Gets it in time. Great play at the hot corner there from Nevada. Got what he could. No play at second base. And now 2 outs here for Noonan and the A's.
Now David.
So back to the top of the lineup. Growley, the leadoff hitter for the Sactown Yankees. 2 hits for him on the day and has also walked. By far the most productive hitter for Sactown today. First pitch from Noonan, ball 1. Noonan comes home with 1-0. Gets the call on the outside corner with a bender. Hey. 1-1 pitch. A little too high in the zone for the ump's liking. 2-1. Beautiful twilight skies here at Chukchansi Park, as that one is off the plate. 3-1. Three-one pitch on the way, hit into foul territory. Crystal on the run for it, but well out of play for him to get. He really turned on the Jets to try and get that one. Good effort, but no play to be made. Full count, 3-2. So Noonan 1 strike away from his 3rd strikeout of his outing, 1 ball away from his first walk of his outing. Takes a peek at second. Now comes home. Payoff pitch. Chopped to the third baseman, Nevada. Fields it, throws it over to the first baseman in time for out number 3. So a couple base runners get on base there for Sactown, but nothing doing as the A's put up another 0 on the scoreboard against them. They're up big still, 10-1 as we head to the bottom of the 8th. First at bat for the new catcher in this game, Julian Rodriguez, pitching there for a strike, 0-1. Pitch number 2, curveball misses outside, 1-1. One pitch drops into the strike zone, 1-2. Good movement on that one. That looked like that was headed for Rodriguez and then dove back into the zone. So Martin's 1-2 pitch on the way, tries to get Rodriguez to chase out of the zone, doesn't, 2-2. Take a look at Rodriguez's stats on the season. He is batting .244 on the year with 10 hits. Swing and a miss there, though, so strikeout. First out of this inning. Excuse me.
Half 90 numbers. Ball.
So after that strikeout, Luke Navad coming up to the plate. The third baseman made a couple of nice plays at the hot corner in the top half of this inning. 0-for-3 on the day, but got on base with a hit by pitch, scored. First pitch to him there is a strike. Second pitch misses for a ball. So with that strikeout to Rodriguez, that's the second strikeout for Martin. And if I had to guess, he's going to see out the end of this ball game here for Sactown. Bends in a strike there to Navad. It's 1-2. Martin's pitch swung on and missed, back-to-back Ks. Good location with that one. Got Navad to chase, 2 down. All right. Isaac Fernandez up for his second at-bat, and shout out to the PA announcer here for saying what college he goes to, Johnson University. Fouled into the A's dugout, almost gets Rodriguez sitting on the bench there. But thankfully, no harm done, 0-1. Fernandez pinch hit last inning and grounded out to first base. Takes that pitch for a ball, 1-1. This one hit out to right field. Is it going to drop? No. Right fielder is on the move to catch that one. That is Garduno. Nice play there, and end of the inning. Quick little 1-2-3 inning there for the Athletics on offense. So they'll take their 10-1 lead going to the top of the ninth. 3 outs away from big-time victory to start out this week. First pitch of the top of the ninth misses for a ball, 1-0. And we do have a new pitching change to report. Matthew Lopez is looking to close things out here for the A's. Pumps in a strike there, 1-1. Third pitch of his outing in there for a strike. Bender for 1-2. So with Lopez in the game, that closes the book on Noonan. 2 solid innings for him. 2 hits given up with 2 strikeouts and no walks. Lopez got the swing on that one. Tried to check his swing, but no go. And that's a strikeout for him, 1 out. That was Ramsey that struck out. So Longaker, the catcher, up now. He struck out in the first inning, but walked in the fourth. Taking a look at Lopez's stats on the season as he gets a swing and a miss there, strike. Lopez has pitched 10 2/3. Now we could say officially 11 with that strikeout. He's credited with 2 wins. Hasn't made a start, but 5 appearances. And has 2 walks to 9 strikeouts. That one misses down, 1-1. Swing and a miss on the bender there, 1-2. Lopez looking crisp here early. Tries another bender, hung this one up a little bit more, and Longaker able to get wood on that one. Foul it to the screen, 1-2 still. One-two pitch, gets him 3 in a row with the bender. That one he just watches go by. Strikeout for Longaker. Second strikeout for Lopez. 2 for 2 here in this inning. And A's are 1 out away from victory. Only thing in the way of Lopez and the A's victory is the cleanup hitter, left fielder Tello. First one in there for a strike. Tello over 3, couple of flyouts to center field and struck out looking in the fourth. Throws a curveball. That one misses too low. Doesn't get the bite out of the batter. 1-1. This one runs inside. Ball 2-1. Two-one pitch. Gets the low and inside call there. 2-2. 1 strike away from victory. Lopez going to go with fastball, or is he going to throw that bender in there? Reckon we'll find out right now. Pitch on the way. Curveball. Good location there, but just misses full count. Was Lopez go 3-2. Powers the fastball right by him. Strike 3. Handshake from the catcher Rodriguez with the umpire, and handshakes to go out for all the A's players. That is a resounding victory here. 10-1. A's win. 10 runs, 12 hits, 1 error. As for Sactown, 1 run on 2 hits and no errors. So great way to start out this week, although it's going to be a short week. Either way, good start here. 1 more game tomorrow against Sactown, and then it's going to be summer break for these A's. That is their 13th win on the year, and looking to close it out with another W tomorrow. Thank you very much for joining the broadcast tonight. For the Fresno A's, I'm Jarrett Smith saying good night, and we'll see you tomorrow.